Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I'm thrilled to be here at Mount Shasta for the first time. It's just a spectacularly wonderful feeling place. And so thank you for making it possible for me, Jonathan, to come here, and all of you as well. I recently, just a few weeks ago, was at another holy mountain, Mont Ségur, the Mount of Salvation in southern France, which is today a sort of a reminder of a secret and of a group of people that possessed this magnificent secret and made use of it. Their name were the Cathars. Their name meant the pure ones, and they maintained that they possessed a secret that had been transmitted from the ancient world. And when they revealed this secret, they were met with tremendous resistance from the ruling political and religious authorities of France. As many as 1 million men, women, and children, Cathars, were exterminated in the first European genocide by the Catholic Church to keep this secret from becoming well known. They ran down the mountain, and this is a marker here where once a bonfire existed, where hundreds of Cathars ran down the mountain and willingly sacrificed themselves to the light instead of allowing the darkness of the church to take their lives. According to Cathar belief, our souls are trapped on earth in a physical body, which they thought of as a tomb, that belongs to the figure the church refers to as Satan, and which the Cathars refer to as the church. The Cathars sought to return to the land of the light, and they possessed this ultimate secret, the light body secret, that will enable that return to the light. And I present here The Prison Courtyard by Vincent van Gogh, which is considered the world's most painfully beautiful picture. It's described this way because it characterizes the mass of humankind. We see people walking in a circle here, bowed over, their heads down. We see erect guards, and we see them experiencing a life of just plain drudgery, just awfulness. None look up into the tower to see the two butterflies, the symbol of resurrection, that are just above them. And that's the message I bring today, that while our world is deep into a war on terror, and we have a religious and political authority on this planet that seeks to terrorize our spirits, there in fact is another way. And what we must all do is look into our hearts and look into the skies for the symbols of the light and become that light ourselves. And that will transform our world in ways that we can barely begin to imagine now. To the Cathars, the object of earth life was to make over this human body into a worthy vehicle for the light of the Holy Spirit. You can think of the Holy Spirit as the ultimate love of the universe. And in this painting by Hieronymus Bosch, who is a 16th century painter who possessed knowledge of the Cathar mysteries, or the Cathar heresies as the church described them, we see a soul that is about to ascend to a spiritual realm. And in the painting, we see that the saved soul has received its robe of light, its garment of light. It is unified or united with its spiritual body, its light body. And we see that it kneels before Jesus, who is also a being of light. This idea, this conception of Jesus as a being of light, is a biblical notion. In several of the Gospels of the New Testament, Jesus took the disciples, Peter, John, and James, with him, and they went into a mountain to pray. And he transfigured, or metamorphosed is the term that's also used in the Bible, in front of them. As he was praying, the appearance of Jesus' face changed, and his clothes became as bright as a flash of lightning. Throughout the ages, there have been some spectacularly beautiful works of art that encode the mysteries of this transfiguration, including this one, where we see Jesus in his garment of light standing before a radiant gateway. As we proceed today, and in the second part of my presentation, what I'm going to suggest to you is this portrays Jesus in his light body garment, standing in front of what today we would describe as a stargate. And there is a twofold process that is described here: the putting on of this garment of light, this activation of this love light from within our heart, which opens this gateway into the rest of the universe for us. Metamorphosis, that term that is used in the Bible to describe this transfiguration of Jesus is alluded to as a symbol of resurrection. The butterfly, the transfiguration or metamorphosis from the cocoon and the pupal form into the butterfly is the very symbol of this light body effect that I'm describing. William Blake was another majestic poet who was also a phenomenal painter and artist who asked the question, what is man? And he says here, the sun's light, when he enfolds it, deepens the origin of he who holds it. And he portrays a human as a sort of a cocoon, alluding to this notion that this body is not all there is. There is more to us than meets the eye, and it is that extra-dimensional aspect of ourselves that we're all called upon to connect with and unveil at this time. That is the secret of the light body effect, this transfiguration from a mortal being into an immortal being of light. The Cathars called themselves the Bon Homme, the good people, or the good Christians. Good is a play on God. In fact, they were God-men who had learned the secret of igniting our inner divinity. The word Cathar, given to them, applied to them, means pure. And they, in fact, were the pure ones, the pure-hearted ones who possessed this secret, and all they wanted was the opportunity to transform their culture, but the church saw fit to stop that process. The Cathars divided themselves into two groups, the perfecti and the elect. The perfecti were the ones who were effecting this transfiguration, this transmutation into light beings. And the rest of the Cathar culture supported this idea. The perfecti adopted that name of the perfecti and the pure because it signified their quest to achieve something that is called in the East, in Tibet specifically, the great perfection